Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to A Culinary Journey. That's right, it's getting close to New Year's Eve and you need something to prepare. Now, what I'm going to think about is a couple of hors d'oeuvre kind of things, appetite. Can you spell hors d'oeuvres? I can't. Well, anyway, hors d'oeuvre appetizer kind of things that would be really cool to show off some really amazing food when you have friends over. Now, this is better for smaller parties because I have some scallops here and I have some little mini lamb chops, scallops wrapped with bacon. I'm going to show you a couple of hints on how to make that even better than buying it in those frozen packages. And then what we're going to be doing is a Moroccan chicken in a phyllo cup. So we have this beautiful lamb right here from these lamb chops, and we're going to cut those down. We're going to use these little handles here to pick them up. We got our scallops to wrap in bacon and a Moroccan chicken that'll knock your socks off. We have some great items ready for New Year's Eve. A lot of this stuff you can prepare ahead of time so then you don't miss the champagne and the big toast. So don't go away because our New Year's Eve culinary journey starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back to our show. We have a couple of items we're going to do for New Year's Eve that will really impress all your guests. Now, the first thing we need to do is cook up our Moroccan chicken. And that's what we want to do before we start anything else because it's going to take the longest out of everything and can be done the day before. So we have our pan here that we're going to add our chicken to. And I'm going to add a little bit of shallots to start that off. So this is really simple. We're going to take some ground chicken. Now, if you want to do turkey or even pork or lamb, if you want to do it a little bit different, you can do it also. But I like the ground chicken because it's kind of a neutral flavor. Everybody seems to like it. And then once we add these really interesting Moroccan spices, people are just going to fall in love with it. So we'll just chop up some of our shallots. Now, one of the things that people find all the time when they're doing a New Year's Eve party is they're spending a lot of time either cooking or you want to go out and buy some stuff because you don't want to do any cooking. A lot of this can be done ahead and just warmed up in the oven right before we're going to serve it. So it works out really well. And people are going to love that you put your own little twist on New Year's Eve. So we're going to just take our shallots and saute them down a little bit. Not going to do too much to it. And then we're going to add our chicken. You could get ground chicken in packages. You could also ask if you have a butcher that he could do it for you. You could take some dark meat, white meat, whatever you want to do. If you have your own little grinder at home, that works out great too. So we're just going to put that in on top of the shallots and cook that down. We're going to cook our chicken all the way through. And again, we're going to bake these, well, we're going to finish this off in the oven too. So we're going to make sure it bakes all the way through. So we'll get our chicken going to start it off. So it's New Year's Eve. You're getting ready for the big day a couple of days from now or even the day after. Or you could even do this that morning. And again, these are all little things, great little appetizers. Not only for New Year's Eve, but for any time you have guests over and you don't want to cook a big meal. Great way to entertain and enjoy each other's company. So we'll get a little salt and pepper in there, using our kosher salt and some cracked black pepper. And we'll get all our ingredients in a little bit. Hey, while that's cooking down, what I'm going to do is start wrapping our scallops. But I'm going to show you a cool thing about wrapping scallops or doing scallops that most people don't do. So bacon wrapped scallops, it could be really easy to make. I like to use larger scallops because I like the way they feel. They won't overcook. They won't get really nice and tough. And then I'm just going to wrap them in bacon. Now, you don't have to wrap them all the way in the bacon. Probably half of a bacon is enough. If you have too much, it's not going to cook all the way through. Now, if you haven't done scallops wrapped in bacon before, or if you have done scallops wrapped in bacon before, one of the things that happens when you do that is that the bacon doesn't cook all the way. And then the scallop is ready, but the bacon's not, and it's a little bit chewy. Well, what we're going to do today is find a way to make that bacon absolutely perfect and hold on to the scallop And then when they're both done, they're just going to come out beautiful. The bacon will be crispy, the scallop will be cooked the way you want it to be cooked, and you're just going to absolutely love it. So we're going to roll some of these right now. Again, this is something you could do ahead of time. Actually, if you roll these ahead of time, put them back in the refrigerator, and then cook them up the next day, they actually even do much better. So cut this in half. Again, not too much bacon around it. Again, it won't cook the way you want it to. All right, let's go check on our chicken real quick as I'm wrapping the scallop. Hopefully you have a little help. If you try and do this all on your own, you go crazy. All right, so let's go back. Our chicken's cooking down. You get a good shot of that? There we go. Just keep moving it around in the pan. You have oil, we have salt and pepper, we have some shallots in there. Want to make sure we have flavor all the way through on these. That's going to be the big key for our ground chicken in phyllo cup with the Moroccan flavors. You're going to absolutely love this. It's incredible. All right. Got that going? All right, I have a little oil pan right here. That's where our scallops and our bacon are going in. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those real quick. We got oil frying. We got it up on a nice, let's see, where are we? We're right here. The oil is actually going to fry the bacon to the scallop. While not overcooking it, we're just going to get a nice sear on it. So we're going to pop those in and we're going to let those cook. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll add all of our ingredients to the chicken in phyllo. Da-da-da-da-da. See how much fun this is? It's really simple, really a quick, easy, flavorful appetizer. Instead of buying them already made, frozen, they just have a better quality all the way through by doing them fresh for yourselves. Now the scallops I'm using, they're a 10-20 scallop. That means get 10 to 20 of these per pound. They're a little bit bigger. If you want to use smaller scallops, just adjust your cooking time so you don't overcook the scallops and you don't have really tough scallops with this over-fried bacon around it. All right, see how our chicken's coming down really nicely? This is where we're going to add our ingredients to our chicken. We're going to add some dried apricots. That's going to be absolutely yummy. Dried apricots. And if you like another type of dried fruit, go ahead and do that. That's fine. We're going to add some crushed pistachio. Again, another type of nut's fine. Cumin, coriander, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Go wonderful in here. And then what we're going to do is bring it all together with a little bit of port wine. It's going to add some natural sweetness. Now I'm putting a nice amount of port wine in there because I want it to be wet right now. And once port wine starts evaporating and bringing all those flavors, it helps rehydrate. First, it helps rehydrate the sun-dried apricots. But secondly, it's going to add to the flavor of the dish and sweeten it up. So we're going to make a beautiful dish that way. All right, so let's cook that down, add a little bit more port wine, and give our scallops a little bit of time to cook in here. I'm going to make up some more of these scallops and get them frying. When we come back, we'll see how our chicken's doing. We'll get our scallops in the oven. We'll talk about baby lamb chops to serve to your guests with their own little toothpicks. It doesn't get much better than this. Don't go away because we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to add one more thing, just really knock this to the next level with, I can't say kicking up a notch. Knock this to the next level, give it that Moroccan feel, which is some cinnamon in there. So in this chicken mixture that we're making, that we're cooking down, now getting it on simmer, we're going to have the apricots, we have the pistachio, cumin and coriander, cinnamon, and a little cayenne pepper, just a touch. Not going to be spicy. And we also have some shallots and the chicken cooking now with the port wine, going to give it some nice sweetness. Over here we are deep frying our scallops, right, with the wrapped with bacon. Now the bacon itself is going to kind of shrink a little around the scallops, so they're going to hold on for dear life and give a little bit of hug to that, which is absolutely beautiful. We'll get that into our roasting pan to go into the oven. We'll finish them up the rest of the way in there, and they'll get nice and between getting crispy and just yummy, and they're just going to be amazing. Just going to make some nice scallops wrapped in bacon. Perfect. Let's get that in the oven. And let's start on our next dish, which is the lamb chops. Now what's great about lamb chops, if you like lamb especially, is that they cook rather quickly, first of all, to get us to a nice rare. They cook quickly. And secondly, what they're going to do is they have their own little vehicle to get to the person's mouth, which are right there, the bones, right? So look at that, yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm just going to cut them right down. You could buy them whole lamb chops like this. You could find mini lollipop chops, they call them. You could find those too, but this is the most economical way to find lamb chops, is find the smaller ones. Now generally I say go for the American lamb chops, but those are all a lot bigger. Those are great for an entree. These usually come from New Zealand or Australia. You can find them like this, and they're absolutely yummy this way also. And all I'm going to do, real simple, we're going to not take any of the fat off. We're going to salt and pepper each side. We're going to get them on the grill because that fat is going to burn off by itself. We're going to just put them on. You can marinate them if you want to, but we're going to add a garlic butter to this in the next part of our show. That'll just do all the flavor we need to. So real simple, just cut them down. This is probably the easiest thing I've ever made on this show. Look at that. Now if I can only cut through the bone. There we go. Sometimes what you do is you have to just follow the bone down, you go, and then come from the other side. There's always a separation in there. And sometimes you just have to break it apart and it'll come right through. There you go. Sometimes they go down really easy, sometimes they don't. Just have to take your time and work your way through it. Just a bone right there, we move it apart and voila. And like I said, you leave the fat on. Don't worry about the fat being on there. So let's go back and check out our chicken and everything else, and we'll see how that's working. We have our scallops in the oven. We have our lamb that we're cutting down. And then we're going to put our lamb, we'll leave a double chop here because it's kind of small, and then we'll salt and pepper either side. Hey, we have a little hanger on there. Salt and pepper either side. Now, and then the fat will just come off, because we're going to also throw these in the oven for a little bit too. This is my taster right here. It's a little bit bigger. And I like to cook these to a rare or medium rare. You really don't have to do too much then. If you have a grill outside you want to work on, even though it's winter time, you could put these on the grill outside, or you could put them on the grill inside. So, okay, we got that cooking. Just turn this down just a little bit. And check out look, our chicken's almost there. You see how it's drying up? The wine's drying up? Oh, this is going to be absolutely wonderful. All right, so we'll turn that off. Here's what we're going to do. This was a little quick segue because all we have to do is really get those on the grill. Watch them turn over in the beautiful grill marks. Look at that. See that? And they can cook almost all the way on this grill. And I have a little secret that I can sometimes deep fry them. They actually come out wonderful that way. But this is the best way to go, because we used that deep frying oil already. All right, so we're just going to pop them over. People are going to come over and enjoy this. This is the one item I would do last minute, just so they stay nice and rare, or medium rare. Great way to do it. But what we're going to do is make a little butter for this. We're going to make a herb butter for this. When we come back, we're going to put our chicken in our phyllo cups, which are going to be absolutely incredible. And we're going to take out our scallops wrapped in bacon, serve them to our guests, and New Year's will begin, and we'll do a countdown. How's that? Well, maybe we won't do the countdown, but don't go away because you're going to have some great food. We'll be right back. All right, guys, here's where we're going. We got butter cooking down for our lamb chops. This is where we got to start working a little bit faster. I'm going to add a little bit of dry herbs to the butter, tarragon, rosemary, basil, whatever you like. That's because you want to make a little herb butter, right? So we're cooking that down. And then what we're going to do, as a last second thing, is I'm throwing my lamb in the butter. Remember we said we're going to add the flavor later? Oh, this is so good. All right, so we'll let that cook down for a little bit. It's almost like when you make buffalo wings, right? That's exactly what it looks like. So we'll do that. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to fill up our little puff paste or our little phyllo cups. Now these phyllo cups are really cool. You can buy them in the supermarket just like that, and it just makes your world so much easier. Try to make those yourself. That's not going to be a lot of fun. And then in each of them, I'm going to stuff just a little bit of our chicken mixture, our Moroccan chicken mixture. Nice bite-sized items, right? Now that butter, you don't have to keep it cooking. The lamb and the butter, you don't have to keep it cooking the whole time. All you really need to do is just get it warm, let it melt down, and then everything will do the rest. Then we're going to put some pistachio on top just to give it a little contrast right here. Bouncing back and forth. Pay attention now. So I'm going to take these and get them on our plate that we just started making for our guests to come in. All right, we'll just put a couple on there. Then we're going to take some of our lamb chops. We're going to put it on that plate. Ooh, Nelly. Looks like fun right now. See, nice herb butter on the lamb chops. Oh. Anybody else excited about New Year's Eve? Let me get the rest of the lamb in there, because this is how the crew gets paid, with those lamb chops. I think Lee's a little jealous right now. Those of you who don't know, he's usually my director. Not here. Sorry. And then we'll put our scallops wrapped in bacon. It's going to be nice and flavorful and yummy and absolutely incredible, cooked the way through perfectly. So if you have guests over, this is the way to go. You have 3 great hors d'oeuvres for New Year's Eve. You can put them in little warmers, or you could serve them on individual plates for people. And the best way to enjoy all this is simply by eating it. That's what life's all about. That's what the New Year is about. Enjoy great food with friends. It's all social. It's a lot of fun. And that's what the culinary journey is all about. And it ends here today and this year, but starts again next year at some exciting locations. So until our next culinary journey, Happy New Year.